Welcome back to the His and Hers podcast, episode 20.
Wow.
Here with Nikki Glamour.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back.
What a day we had.
What a day
yesterday.
we had. Welcome back to episode 20, you guys. We missed y'all so much. So today's video, we have something different for you guys. It's special in a way because it just happened. We had some other topics for you guys for this episode, but something else took precedence. We had a little beef going, a little Twitter beef. And at the end of the day, honestly, I don't really know why. I don't know why. There's a big why that's missing. So today's episode is going to be
dedicated.
Yes, this episode is dedicated to Mr.
I don't know if I even want to say his name at this point.
All right. So this episode is dedicated to a very special reporter, and we are going to get further into the story. So make sure you guys have your snacks and everything, all your tea, because we're about to spill it. All right, so let's do this.
This guy has a very questionable. First of all,
let's start at the beginning.
He does a radio show in Denver for the Broncos flagship station.
Okay.
So he's pretty much employed by the Broncos. Okay. Now he pretends to be a reporter.
What do you mean pretends to be?
Like he will speculate stuff, but word it as if he's reporting it as news, but he leaves himself a lot of outs in his message.
So is he speculating on the games, on the players,
just like player
on
transactions?
Got it. Okay.
What team like keep in mind there's only like 2-3 guys in the entire world that have these jobs.
Right.
Okay. For all 32 NFL teams.
Oh wow.
That like there's Adam Schefter, Ian Rappaport, maybe like 1 or 2 other guys.
Oh yeah, I've heard of them.
You know, and that's it.
Okay.
But this guy thinks he's in that tier.
I see.
But he's not.
Okay.
He's
I
constantly
think,
caught lying.
Honestly, and I'm not. Right. I'm going to continue to say this throughout, but the other gentleman that you mentioned, I'm not even like a huge sports fan, and I recognize their names, and I don't recognize this guy's name. No. So I feel like that's more telling. But anyways, proceed.
No, if you've ever seen his name pop up and you're not in sports, it's because he's lying or has been caught lying or has been questioned about his military service.
Ooh.
He's supposedly was a part of torturing people. He
kind
of like blew the whistle on that supposedly.
What?
Yeah, like I'd have to find the quote or the article. I mean, whatever article I'm referencing, I'll just post it.
Okay.
So in the description. So if you want to go read it, go ahead. They're kind of long. It's hard to read them all.
Now, is this something that is like set in stone, like has been factual, or is this an allegation?
Well, he hasn't really been able to disprove much.
Have people been able to prove it on the other side, though?
Yeah. Well, one guy. So the whole torturing thing, that one was in his own words. Like he was interviewed, like before he started doing his make believe reporting.
Dude. What?
So yeah, like he was saying, like they would play loud music, wouldn't let people like go to sleep, wouldn't let them like stand up or lean up against anything, screaming real loud, keeping food and water from them.
Okay, stop. It's gonna make me sick. Okay.
But honestly, the real torture is being stuck in a room with him. That's the real torture.
Oh my God. Okay.
So those are his own words. Okay.
Right.
What he did.
For those of you guys that are tuning in that may not even know about this person or don't even know where to start, I'm just as confused as you.
Nick,
so I just want to make sure that I'm getting this all right.
Yeah.
So this person, works for the Broncos technically,
correct,
right? For a radio station.
Yes.
He calls himself a journalist.
850 KOA Denver AM radio.
Okay, so we can't say his name, but we can say where he works.
I can't say his name. I just don't. He don't.
Okay, so we're just gonna keep it at. He works at a radio station here in Denver.
Yep.
So, and he calls himself a journalist, a reporter.
Supposedly, yeah, reporter, journalist, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Got it.
He likes to call people disgusting liars, but
whoa. Okay, I feel like there's a lot of personal things behind this story. Do tell.
Yeah, no, it's not personal.
What happened?
I just don't like him.
Why? There's not many people on this earth that you don't like, David. I've been with you for over a decade now.
There's a lot of people. There's not a lot of people that I don't like.
That's what I just said. There's not a lot of people that you don't like.
I thought you were just saying I should be hating.
No, that's the thing, David. You are very unproblematic. Like, you don't usually have beef. I usually have beef.
I just have known that this guy is a liar for a couple years now, and it's funny because now, I mean, I'm not going to get into like the whole NFL part of it, but there's something going on, especially with the Broncos, where there's a lot of misinformation or different information given out to people because they got a new general manager. So you don't know who to believe at this point anymore because nobody knows who the sources are.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so everybody's like, even national guys are reporting like different things, but he's like, no, I'm right, not this guy. And it's like, who the hell do you think you are, dude? Like, you don't know anything. But what happens is, this guy, he searches his name up on Twitter, and he goes and he argues with any single person that questions his sketchy military. Like, that
questions his past,
his military presidency. He said he got into Harvard. There's no proof of that. There's like emails from the military for people that reached out for a story on him. They were like, we never heard of this motherfucker. He was here for like 4 months, and so it kind of contradicts. He's changed the amount of times he's went on tour in Afghanistan. Like, it's been 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. It depends on the day.
Oh, wow.
So he's consistently been called out, and he blocks everybody that calls him out on it. And what happened is there's a lot of bloggers in Denver that cover the Broncos, because the Broncos are a huge attraction here in Denver.
Right.
So they're all trying to like kind of get their foot in the whole like media.
Yeah.
Like the legitimate media, trying to get past the blogging and the podcast type thing. Like, they all want their own radio show. And there's guys like this guy Robbie Davis, who's pretty good at analysis. This guy Cody Rourke, who's good at analysis, and this other guy Cameron Parker, who also is really trying to get into it. Nice. And what happens is, if those guys are following somebody that he doesn't like or he doesn't agree with, he will publicly like at them on Twitter and give them an ultimatum that they have to unfollow whoever that person is, or he's gonna block them and make sure that they don't work in this fucking town again. Like he's some fucking big shot Hollywood director. Like, nah,
wow,
I'm gonna make sure you never work in this town again, kid.
Wow.
So that's like he's a bully.
Okay.
So that's really the thing that I don't like about him.
So that's what put him on your radar?
He's been having like a meltdown every day this week.
Okay.
Because people keep questioning him.
About his past or about his reporting or just like everything? Oh, about everything. His reporting. Okay.
And everything. Well,
Got it.
Reporting.
Got it.
So yeah, he's been having a meltdown every week, like fighting with people on Twitter, like people that have supported him for so long. And he's kind of losing the room, you know?
Got it.
Slowly but surely. And so keep in mind, he's had me blocked forever because I think I got caught in the he unblocks me like once a year. Like every January 1st, he'll like unblock me.
What?
Like 3 days later, he'll block me again. I'm like, what was the point of that? But I won't notice because all of a sudden, like, his tweets will pop up on my feed because, I follow a lot of Broncos fans, so I'll see his fake news pop up, and I'm like, oh shit.
Ooh, okay.
I'm like, oh, he unblocked me, and then I'll ignore him, and then I'll just see something. I'll be like, nah, that's not true, and then he'll just block me. But I think he blocked me because I followed somebody he didn't like. He just went through and he just unfollowed everybody that followed him.
Oh wow.
Okay. It's very
this still
juvenile.
I'm still very lost.
It's very stupid. It's very
That's the only thing I'm taking away from this, honestly.
He takes that app so seriously.
We're talking about Twitter.
Oh, it is
God.
like it is unhealthy. Like, man, when I'm on there, I'm just joking around. Like, I'm never serious. Like, I'm never mad. I'm just once I put my phone down, I'm forgetting all about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nothing anybody says to me, especially because I keep it within like sports or I don't go at people's families and stuff like that. So nobody really comes at me like that because it's purely about sports that we're debating.
Yeah, I would hope so.
But this guy, is a different story. But I did kind of.
Oh God, what does that mean? What does mean?
I was just. You know,
no. What?
I was just joking around a
You were
little
just
bit.
joshing? Is that what you were
I
going to
was
say?
just joshing, all right?
What did you do?
I just made a couple tweets making fun of his questionable military past.
Uh-huh.
And he did not like that.
You made a couple of tweets about his questionable military
Yeah, I was just kind of
past.
like, making fun of it a little bit.
Okay, so let me ask you this. What you said, is it stuff that's like been written before, or are you just like pulling this out of nowhere?
Nah, I didn't make anything up.
Okay, so is this like stuff?
Yeah, everybody knows about it. Like I'm like him. I'm not breaking news here. You know what I mean?
Wow. You really are my husband. Okay.
So yeah, I made these tweets just kind of making fun of him, and he lost his shit. He looked it up. Keep in mind, this guy had me blocked. Looked me up, started going at my tweets, posting screenshots of my tweets. Like, I didn't delete them; they're still there. You go look at them. Like, I don't care. I tweet like 5-6 more things after that, and he just camped out in my mentions. Like, you gonna address this? You gonna address this? You lied about this. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? So I just ignore him, and he hates it. He hates it. He's a narcissist. He cannot help himself.
Right.
He needs the attention.
Okay.
I ignore him. So
perfect.
That doesn't work.
Ooh.
So then he DMs me.
Oh shit! It's going down in the DMs.
He DMs me.
Going down in the DMs.
Now keep in mind.
Oh, he's pulling out his phone.
Yeah, I'll pull up the DM.
Ooh, receipts.
So keep in mind, I'm not the first person that he's done this to.
Okay.
This is his MO. Okay. Somebody accuses him of lying. He gets pissed off. He tells them that they're a disgusting liar. He demands an apology, or he will threaten their livelihood.
Their livelihood, how?
Like, he will at their employer to try to get them fired. He will write emails. He is a straight up Karen. This motherfucker is a straight up Karen. That's what the fuck he is. There's just some shit about him where, like, why would you even lie about that? Like, somebody was talking about drug tests in the NFL.
Yeah.
And he had to go out of his way to be like, well, in the military, I was like, you're an analysis specialist.
What?
This motherfucker was over there fucking
analyzing
pee.
It seems like
he always knows more than you.
Yeah, no, like on the internet though, there are so many people that kind of do that where like they make up these backgrounds or this experience just to be able to have a voice in the conversation.
Yeah.
Even if it's something that they don't necessarily know about, they're not, very well trained on, they're not experienced in, maybe they don't have all of the answers, but they want to feel like they are part of the conversation, and they would much rather fake credentials. You know how many people have gotten caught, doing that? So he's
like Frank Abagnale Jr. in Catch Me If You Can.
Oh, yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
He's just lying and faking, forging all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
That's kind of him, except he's not as cool as Leonardo DiCaprio.
He's like the specialty man. He's like, everything's my specialty. You know
right?
What I mean?
Yeah. Like.
All right. So all right. Keep going.
I'm like, cool. Like, right on, dude. You, I don't know. You like over there wine tasting, fucking people's piss. I don't know what does that even mean.
Wow.
Analyzing urine. Okay. So this is the DM he sent me after he couldn't get to me through mentioning camping out in all my tweets. So he says, this is about to get really bad for you. You can keep trying your fake tough guy act all you want. I don't want to take food out of Nikki and your kids' mouths, but you lied and you're caught, and it's about to be that. Anything short of a formal apology is unacceptable. Well, here's my apology. You can kiss and suck my brown dick.
Oh, he called me by name.
Yeah, so this is where I was like, all right.
He called me by name, and I don't even know who he is.
Yeah, well, because before actually this DM, he went to the his and hers Twitter account, @tid with the screenshot of my tweets, and was like, I understand that David is a co-host of this podcast. You really going to allow this to happen? And I was like, I run that account. Like, me and Nikki run this account. Like, this is our podcast. So I wanted to hop in that motherfucker and be like, well, guess what, yo? I am the manager, B. Remember on the Chappelle show?
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to do. Like, bitch, you can't fire me, bro. You can't get me fired. Just give it up. You can't.
I'm just waiting for my part. I'm sorry.
She's sleeping on it.
I saw the message again, and I'm just like.
So it's at this point when he sends the DM and he's tweeting at the His and Hers podcast, account, where I'm like, okay, well, I need to let Nikki know that this is what's going on, and this guy is losing his fucking mind. And so this is where I have to get Nikki involved, or not involved, but I just told her, hey, if this guy comes at you, just ignore him or block him.
No, it's just like, it's not getting me. It's making me aware. Usually David doesn't need to make me aware of what is going on Twitter. Honestly, Twitter is probably the biggest platform that I don't avoid it, but I don't spend as much time on it as other platforms because people take it too far. And I know myself. Like, I don't want to be a part of it.
Sure.
I don't want to be triggered by it. I am not problematic. I don't fucking like that shit.
He needs to be more like that.
Okay, well, I mean, I don't really give a fuck about him, to be honest with you. But what I'm saying is that, that's why. Mm-hmm. And honestly, it really is a thing. Like, if you feel like you're not emotionally strong enough to handle other people's just like crazy random opinions, whether it's good about you or bad about you, like, Twitter ain't the place for you.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know that about myself. I am woman enough to say, you know what? I can't really deal with people talking shit to me like that. I'm not going to do that. So Twitter is where, I talk to my homies. I pass on info, new content that I'm dropping. But other than that, I'm not here for the Twitter beefs because I'm grown.
Right.
I'm not here for the back and forth because I'm grown. I'm not here for the tea on Twitter and all this fake news because I'm grown. You know what I mean? So it's just like all of this time. So David prefers Twitter because it's fast news when it comes to sports and all of that. So he never discusses any of that with me because, like, honestly, I just really don't care.
Yeah, and that's fine.
And he has his boys, he has his friends that he does that with. But go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm in a group chat on Twitter. We talk about sports. This guy Mikey runs it, and it's very, very informative. Like, there's a lot of information, especially in the NFL. It's constantly information. There's always a storyline. There's always like some sort of drama. It's riveting stuff. If you're into sports, I've been into football like my whole life.
Yeah.
And when I did get in debate, like, I like getting in debates. Nothing salacious, but we're just arguing different point of views or perspectives on sports, and I like to disagree with a lot of people, not on purpose, but most of the people that I follow are people that I disagree with, and they disagree with me, but it's not anything personal. Like, I enjoy interacting with these people. Like, it's not like I don't like you thing. It's like, no, I actually do like you, and I enjoy interacting with you, and this is fun because it's making me think.
Oh, it's seeing your perspective kind of thing.
Yeah, because I don't want to follow just a bunch of people that agree with me.
Or just like a bunch of diehard Broncos fans.
Yeah, like an echo chamber. Like, that's not fun.
Yeah.
And you don't meet anybody that has a different point of view from you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, when people disagree with me, I don't take it personal.
Well, you're not supposed to.
No, and I don't, because I'm like, dude, at the end of the day, this is just a stupid game that we watch, and none of these players are going to know who the hell we are anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I understand the trivial nature of what it is that we're talking about.
Right.
Like, in the grand scheme of life, it doesn't really mean anything. It's just entertainment.
Right.
And, so I don't take it personally at all. And so for that reason, like, I'm not going to bore you with some stats and shit that
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Because Nikki doesn't care.
I don't
Nikki
care.
don't watch sports.
I don't.
And that's fine.
It's not about the sports. It's really not. I understand the sports. It's like this trivial. It is this trivial back and forth. Mm-hmm. I don't really care. Like, I don't care if I decide that I like a sports team. That's just who the fuck I like. I'm not here to fucking go back and forth with you. But I feel like for dudes, it's fun. It's entertaining. Like you said, whatever. And like, it's your thing. Like, some of us like reality shows, bitch. Like, it's our thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I prefer to just stay out of
so
that realm. I don't step there.
I don't ever bore Nikki with this shit.
Yeah.
But this time I was like, oh,
so one day came around.
I was like, this guy is off his meds, or I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Dude, it was like, David, I don't know. Like, it's not like you had seen a ghost, but you definitely had a different or about you, but it was because I was leaving the house. I was like in the middle of leaving the house to run errands, and like I had to go like now, right? So I'm coming down the stairs and David's saying bye to me, and he's like, hey, by the way, if this guy tries to contact you, like just understand, like he's crazy, like he's really going off about some shit on Twitter, and like I just don't want you involved and this and that. And I was like, so I go into the kitchen and I'm like looking at David like, what you mean? Like, what you mean if he gets a hold of me? Like, why would he get a hold of me, you know? So I'm like putting my stuff in my purse like, David, just tell me because I got to go. And he was like, all right, so like I'm going to spare you like the stupid details. He was like, but basically I said something that he didn't really like. He was like, and, you know, I stopped responding. I did not continue to respond or reply. I just completely ignored him. And I was like, all right, cool, like as you should, right? Okay, so I'm looking at David, so what's the problem? And he said, well, he DM'd me. And I was like, oh shit, went down in the DMs. I always say that.
Not like that.
And then he said, he has the intention, or saying that he has the intention of like ruining our family, and like literally
taking food out of the kids' mouths.
But when he mentioned that, like straight up, like, it's like the entire room stopped, and like I just honed in on David, and I was like, wait, what? And he was like, he said that he was gonna like it. This was gonna get really bad, and that he was gonna take food out of yours and the baby's mouths. And like I just immediately, it was like ringing in the ears. I'm not gonna lie, I saw red, and like the whole room fucking stopped, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like I'm just trying to mind my fucking business. I'm going to run my errands. Like I don't cause no problems with nobody. The fuck? Like what you talking about? So David's trying to explain this to me really fast. I'm running short on time, and I'm like, okay, well, let me take a look at it on my end. So David told me about this DM and showed it to me. And I was just like, you know, honestly, like I really despise this type of behavior, and I'm minding my business. And you see, honest, for you to know, and I am speaking directly to him, if for you to know my name well enough to call me out by my name, and then you reference my children, well, that seems a little bit personal. And it got to me because like I don't fucking know you.
Yeah.
Not even just like on a petty surface level. I've never heard your name in my life, never saw your face, couldn't pick you from a crowd in the street. And I'm sure it was the same way, and see, it should have stayed that way, because I don't like that shit. Like this person, I'm trying to like control my rant here. This person may have worked or whatever you may have done. I don't really care. I don't care if you were in the military. I don't care how much experience you, I don't give a fuck. Like, that's the thing. But for you to come out your face and try to place your power or the superiority complex, and I'm guessing it's because you lack in other areas, but you can figure that out for yourself. But for you to try to use that and tell my husband, whom you thought was a normal person, might I add, shame on you.
No. Remember, he thought you're just a fucking
photographer, when the most creative, knowledgeable, amazing geniuses are photographers, you fucking... Anyways.
Yeah, photographer is not an easy thing to do.
You thought that he was just a photographer.
Right.
And you went out of your way to try to contact his boss, or who you thought was his boss, which just so happened to be our business that we own together, because he said something on Twitter that was already out there about you that you didn't like. And so that just tells me that, number one, you're not mature enough to even be on that app. Like, keep in mind,
he's like 40-something years old.
This is just ridiculous. But then you sit there and you DM my husband, because you're not man enough to say that like out publicly, because you knew it was fucking wrong. I know it's wrong. You know it's wrong. Anybody who has any semblance of a platform knows that that shit is motherfucking wrong, and it's sick.
And then he denied
you
saying
sit there and you say, this is going to get real bad. I will take food out of Nikki's. Nikki's and your children's mouths. I will accept nothing less than a formal apology. I'm sorry. Who the fuck do you think that you are? Like, I'm trying to figure out who it is that you think that you are, because not me, nor any of my Glamazons knew who the fuck you were, nor any of their fucking boyfriends. So, like, hey, you might want to figure that out. Maybe extend your reach a little bit. All right. Maybe come up with some new content. I don't know. I'm not here to be your fucking manager. But what I'm telling you is that you're not really at the place to be fucking threatening people and threatening their livelihood and the livelihood of their children. And I don't, specifically me, I don't appreciate being pulled into this. So, like, I feel like you knew me well enough to say my name like that. But, like, you didn't know me well enough to know that I was going to come at you if you came at my fucking kids. And so then, let me go ahead and just say I took that opportunity to just let him know, point blank period, and I did at him, if you ever mention my children in your Twitter beefs again, it is you and I all the way, period. That's all I said. And I think that I was being fair, because I could have gone at you about anything else, could have started beef with you, could have done this and that and the third. But, like, honestly, it was very simple. Don't do it again. I even let you have a pass. And this man does have a tendency he has to reply to every single tweet that he gets, especially if it's not in favor of him, if it doesn't paint him in a good light. So I get a response that fast because he has no life. Now, keep in mind, I have a life, so I'm like on my way to errands and shit, making money. And he's already...
Didn't you tell him that's...
Yeah. So he starts trying to respond. And his response to me, his initial response to me about that was, you need to figure out the pathetic shit that you married or some shit like that. Oh. So in that instance, he doubled down on what the fuck he said.
Then he denied not saying that.
Okay, but like in that instance, like his first response, I think, just seeing my tweet, just like, this some random bitch, I don't give a fuck, you need to fucking check the pathetic piece of shit that you married. Okay, so you're just talking to everybody like that now. Okay, all right. So then I let him know, hey, I don't give a fuck about anything that you're saying. Don't become another one of my stories, man. Like, I don't... Stop it. I mean it. And I told him I mean it. You don't want that problem. Okay? Then he continues to come back and forth, and he starts kind of issuing an apology, but saying, your husband is a pathetic fucking liar, but I am sorry about roping you into this. And you didn't really deserve that. But, like, also you didn't deserve that piece of shit either. Like shit like that, right? So you're not seeing, sir, the fucking premise of you trying to use your little stupid fucking platform that nobody cares about to ruin people. And you knew in your heart and in your mind that you had the intention of fucking affecting an entire family, Nikki included, by name.
Specifically Nikki.
And not only that, it's a pandemic.
Right.
You think that it's cool to be fucking playing these games with people's lives during a fucking pandemic?
Not only did he do that to us, but he's also, somebody else sent me a screenshot of him doing it to somebody disagreed with him, and they're like in the nursing field, and he went at them and pretty much threatened them like you better do what I say or else you're not going to be working in the nursing field. Like, bro, you mean to tell me you got pulled in the whole nursery in the nurse field now? But this is what he does. It's his MO. It's the same thing. It's such a fucking pattern.
I think that was telling, obviously, like without even knowing him,
he didn't know who
even
you were.
Seeing his history, just seeing how quickly he went there, it showed me a lot about his character. Yeah. And that's what made me mad. Number one, first and foremost.
First of all, he don't have that power over us.
No. So he doesn't have that power over anybody. And he should really not do that. Like, that's a piece of shit type of thing to do, honestly.
Yeah, that's what pisses me off more than anything, like the arrogance.
Right. And like what if you were a freelance photographer? That would have, and what if this was your only job? What if this podcast was your means for everything? What if somebody
else ran this podcast and hired us?
Right. What if he really would have affected your job? Because that was his intention.
Trust
for sure. 100%. That was his intention, and that's what fucking set me the fuck off. It's the principle of the thing. I'm not mad about you saying some stupid shit that you could never do. Whatever. I'm upset about the fact that you doing this shit to other people that you feel like you have power over that can't defend themselves because they don't have the type of platform that you do. And then, sir, you come across...
He's a bitch like that, I'm telling you.
Me.
Well, he didn't know who you were. I think when he tweeted you or when you tweeted him, and then he responded back, and then the responses he got, because keep in mind, Nikki tweeted him like twice, and this motherfucker went private.
He fucking put his shit on private.
Protected his page, and protected all his tweets so nobody can see him. But he's so narcissistic and needs the attention.
I thought you were gonna fucking affect my coin, man.
It lasted 10 minutes, and he was back arguing with 14-year-old girls.
Dude, and then that's the other thing. So the other level, so that happens.
But they were killing him though. Yeah,
this happens on Twitter. My Glamazons, they ride or die for me. Y'all already know what's up. Yeah, just my family. Y'all my boo things. Right? And so I have my Glamazons getting in the ring. You know what I mean? And honestly,
they're so funny though, man.
With all sincerity in my heart, never my intention. I know that my Glamazons may, but I needed him to know publicly, I'm going to need you to stop. Well, and nobody told him to keep responding. Nobody told him to keep coming at me. Like, I straight up had to tell him, and you know what? Let me pull out my shit real fast.
Oh.
Because I had to let him know he really tried to defend himself and tell me that even though he knew what he said was wrong, he justified it because David made him so mad.
He said, but I didn't understand what he was saying. He's like, David lied and he got caught red-handed. Like, dude, those tweets are still up. But what are you talking about? They're just...
Like, jokes. He sent me all these threads expecting me to read the back and forth of two dudes going, debating on Twitter like I got fucking time. But at the end of the day, I don't care what was in those threads. It doesn't give you the right to threaten the livelihood of my family. I don't care. Like, and I had to tell him, okay? I said, here's my initial tweet. Hey, dude. All right, his name. If you mention my kids again in your stupid fucking Twitter beefs as a grown-ass man, it's going to be you and me all the way. He responded. He has since deleted the tweet. It now looks like I'm talking to myself because he's just awesome like that.
He might have blocked you.
And then to which I replied, go cry somewhere, Benji, and leave my kids out of this stupid shit. I mean it, okay? I'm trying to fucking squash this shit. Like, just leave it the fuck alone. I don't even know you.
Right.
Okay, so then he ats me and says, get control of the pathetic thing you married. Oh. At which point I retweeted him and I said, someone get his receding hairline off of my fucking page. Don't become my next story.
Yeah.
And then at this point, some of my Glamazons are jumping in. He's blocking all of them. Then I get one of my Manazons sending me some articles, some sketchy shit about his past. And I was like, oh, hey, thanks, for looking out, whatever. So, we're having this conversation on Twitter. And then he pulls me into a thread with David to attempt to, tell on David to me.
Yeah.
And so he said, oh, yeah. Yep, I think he blocked me. So I can't go back and look at his tweets verbatim. But it was all a bunch of this is what was said. This is why I said what I said because he said this and all of that, right?
Yeah.
I said, I don't really give a fuck about what you're saying right now. This is stupid, childish bullshit. What you will not do is presume to ever have the power to take food out of mine and my kids' mouths. I'm interested to see how true that is between you and I. He responded some shit, and then he did the whole backhanded apology thing. Like, you didn't deserve this, but your fucking husband is blah, 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 right? So he's fucking going off. So I said, hey, man, me too. I'm really sorry that you've given my husband the ability to get under your skin on an app that caused you to lash out towards an entire family. And let's be frank. Let's be fucking frank. Because I'm not here to go around the block with you, man. All right? Everybody knows I'm a straight shooter. Yes? Okay, great. This apology wouldn't be given if it wasn't for my stats. We both know that, and that's the problem. I called him out. Because, like, let's be real. Who else has gotten a semi-apology from him? Have you ever seen him do that?
Nah, hell no.
Oh, man. Well, I have, because he got scarred in that moment. And so then he took that and he deleted the tweet, obviously. And he basically said, well, I apologized. And if you want to take it, then fine. And if you don't, well, then don't. Like, whatever.
I think he should have offered a formal apology, in my opinion.
Oh, nothing less.
Right.
Nothing less.
Like, I want it on a KOA letterhead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I want it with like one of those old school quill pens that you dip into the ink.
Right.
And I also want the wax emblem on the outside, like to really show that you fucking care. That's what the fuck I want, okay? So then my last tweet, before I told him to get the fuck off my timeline, I said, hey, lying isn't a great trait, seeing as how that is your initial argument. However, your threat to take food out of mine and my kids' mouths based on what you believe to be your success. You use your platform to try and destroy people's lives. And today you came at the wrong one. He came at me one last time. I said, see yourself off my feed. I'm done with this conversation. I have money to make. At which point I was like, you know what? You know what? Damn. Like, fucking my drop. I don't have time for you. At the end of the day, I have no fucking time for you. I just wanted to let you know you're not about to do shit. You ain't shit. I don't know you. And obviously you don't know me either. But like, this is like fucking getting caught red motherfucking handed using your platform to try and ruin somebody's entire family.
Yeah, and
wow.
And yesterday or Sunday, because this will be up on Tuesday, but he picked the wrong people to fuck with, because really the truth of the matter is, and I've seen it happen with you and your Glamazons who are like so loyal to you, and because you've built that trust with them. I
really do try, and look, my Glamazons know, honestly, since my career has begun, I am not problematic. I don't fucking that's what makes me mad. I mind my business.
Remember when they went at your former employer?
Well, yeah,
because you told that story time,
because they stole my video,
which you were totally justified in talking all that shit.
Because it is
they
something,
did you dirty.
Yes.
They stole from you.
Right. But that was like,
they used you. That was probably the worst part of it. That was the
case. That's the problem, is that like I'm tired of people taking advantage of other people. Yes. And that was my point with that story. Because at that time, I was to them a little nobody. Yeah. They stole my content, locked me out of the YouTube channel, was still using it to onboard new employees and never paid me, and actually fired me the day after getting them that content. But that's neither here nor there.
But the way that your Glamazons went at them,
they are diehard, man.
Like, dude, I'm telling you right now, if Nikki were to make a video about you on her channel, you're probably not gonna have a job. So,
but I mean, should I though? Should I ruin your whole fucking life? It's going to be really bad for you if you don't give me a formal apology at least.
Look, we just want the formal apology on an 850 KOA letterhead.
In 4K, bitch.
Okay. All right. I want it posted from 850 KOA's Twitter account at Nikki, at me. And this whole thing will be over. That's it. Just a little apology. It'll never happen again. That's it. You know? That's what we're doing. We're doing formal apologies.
Yeah, I guess.
You know? We're not going to get an apology. Honestly, I don't care if we ever get an apology from this guy. This guy is nothing to us. He has no control over anybody, especially us. We don't need anything from him.
If it weren't for the fact that we've worked hard to be where we are right now, he could have affected everything
that's the part that pisses me off, is that he thinks he's like some sort of like, thinks he's like some sort of god.
Like if
he shall giveth and taketh away.
He tried it, and if he could have, he would have.
Shit, fuck that.
If he could have, he would have. Yeah. Like, that blows my mind. Like, he tried to. It's not like he thought about it and just threatened it. No, bitch. He got a hold of the His and Hers podcast with the intention of getting David fired. Of tattletelling on David about some shit that happened on Twitter, no less.
Don't worry. I gave myself a stern talking to. So, that's all. I got that.
But, like, I want to know where the fuck I'm sorry.
He deleted it, and I was kind of bummed.
I'm just like,
Just look like an idiot.
Just stay in your lane. Just stay in your lane, and I stay in my lane. And then like, don't ever like make the mistake of involving my name, and especially not my children. That's what made me come out of my lane and then waste my very much precious and valuable time.
So today you are actually going to help us put some food in our kids' mouths.
Yes.
So thank you. Good.
Yay.
Hey, this is a start to a new beginning. This is a new year, dude. You can grow from this.
Wow. Yeah. Thank you so much.
It's contributing.
We appreciate you, and you know, if you ever have anything else to say, you let me know and I'll respond to you on my channel. How about that?
Yeah. If you want that.
You know what's up? It really didn't have to go there, and like, I don't like being roped into shit, especially if it doesn't have anything to do with me.
And I would never involve you.
These are fucking kids. These are babies. What the fuck is wrong with you?
This guy supposedly got a near perfect score on his LSAT or his LSATs. He got a score supposedly 178
on and got LSATs.
Yeah, got accepted into Harvard Law, but supposedly he turned it down. But from what I saw yesterday, he was getting his lunch ate by some 14-year-olds. There's no way in hell this guy was accepted into Harvard Law. Like, there's no way. But babe, the responses to him were so funny. They were like just them telling him, I don't know who you are. I'm 14. Why are you still talking to me?
Yeah.
And he was like,
that's what made me mad too. Like, don't come after my glamazons either. Like, that's the thing, is that like, these are my family too, and I mean that shit. And so when I saw him going after like my 14-year-old glamazons, like, the fuck is wrong with you? So I reported him to Twitter. I reported him to the Broncos. I reported him to the NFL. I reported him to everybody.
Oh my God.
For going after minors
so
like that.
I posted the DM that he sent me, and he fucking reported me. For posting the DM, and my shit got locked down. So my Twitter account was shut down for 12 hours because this pussy reported me for some shit that he said. Because I posted, I was like, well, here you go. Like, motherfucker, like, this is what you wanted. Oh, but now you don't stand by it once I post it.
Yeah.
Like, what's up?
Yeah.
So he reported me, and I had to remove it and delete it.
Oh, awesome. Well, I mean, screenshots still exist, so it's fine.
Yeah, I'll post it here. I don't care. I don't care.
No, but that's my 2 cents. And honestly, I just want to be left the fuck alone.
Yeah.
And I just don't feel like it should ever fucking go there. And like, if you are bringing other people's families,
like, we're just chilling,
into
bro,
your little Twitter beefs, like, it's just too much and it's too far. And like, you really need to be like, have a caregiver look after you and have absolutely no access to social media, because you're just not cognitively mature enough to handle things like other people's opinion that can differ from your own. It's fine. Without you getting like that,
he definitely needs to be what's the word I'm looking for? Not diagnosed, but he needs to be evaluated.
I mean, I guess
emotionally, mentally. Like, there has to be somebody close to him that's like, bro, you're fighting with teenage girls.
And then
now.
like, hey man, it says a lot about you if like your fans and your followers are getting a hold of me and saying, hey, I've been following him for so many years and he has fucking changed, and like this whole shit that's going down with you and your kids, like, it really made me look at him different. Yeah.
Well, you know what happened was he built up this facade, and it stood, what stood for so many years, but now it's like unraveling.
So guess what? I welcome them with open arms.
Yeah,
you know, I let them know they can be appreciated where I'm at. So, you know, I think honestly, you just really need to reevaluate what the fuck is important to you, and also whose name you mentioned when you're on your little fucking rants. Yeah,
you definitely. This should be a lesson to be. You never know. You never know who you're dealing with, whether it's on the internet or in real life. You never know. You never know.
That's the thing. You could have really fucking ruined somebody's life. You could have really just stopped their whole world from spinning. You could have really stopped somebody from being able to feed their kids.
Over some jokes, over some words on Twitter. Just some pixels.
So, anyways.
I'm sorry.
I'm done talking about this clown.
Yeah, no, this will be it.
Cool.
This is
I don't want to hear about him. I don't even want to see his fucking name. I just really don't. It's so childish.
Well, don't worry, he blocked you, but he will unblock you on January 1st. So Maybe he'll
don't care.
offer the formal apology. Well, anyway, I'm sorry that you got pulled into this, but I'm being sincere though. So,
Thanks.
I would never
I'm not even. I'm not
this.
fucking mad about me. I'm mad about my kids.
Well, of course.
I'm mad about my kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why I had to tell you about it. I was like, hey, he took it to a level it didn't need to go, and
he took it to a level he should have never ventured down. You know what I mean?
No.
Like you should have never ventured.
No.
Down the road, because like I mind my fucking business, and my kids are my business. Mm-hmm. And like I said it on Twitter, I'll say it here. I will stay in my lane, mind my business. But if you call about my kids, I will answer every fucking time.
Anything with
every
kids.
fucking time.
Gloves
and
are
like
off.
I'm just sitting here like, because I remember what it's like to be taken advantage of by people who thought that I was nothing and nobody because they had a business or they had a bigger platform or whatever the case may have been when I wasn't even doing this yet. And it's a terrible fucking feeling. And I don't like it. And it is bullying and it is harassment and it is piece of shit tendencies. And like, it just makes the other person feel helpless, and you should never use what has been given to you, by the way, given to you by the motherfucking way.
Some way, I don't know how.
To take away from somebody else. And so maybe your little followers, your little fans, the people that are paying your bills, the people that are consuming your content, that are supporting your career, maybe that they should know that they are one comment away from being ruined by you, and having the likes of you try to get a hold of their employer and taking time out of his day to destroy this person's life because of a difference of an opinion or a retweet that you didn't necessarily, enjoy, or it didn't make you feel happy. So, by all means, go after this person's livelihood, because that's the only way to make it fair. Sensitive ass off of fucking Twitter.
And I just want to say too to anybody out there, especially that's trying to be a blogger or trying to get into media, you don't need Benjamin. Oops, said his name.
Ooh, shit. Dun, dun, dun.
You don't need him. You don't need him.
You don't need nobody.
Stop kissing his fucking ass,
you don't
okay?
Need nobody.
Man, if you busting ass, bro, nobody's going to care about who you're following,
nah,
okay?
Dude.
Like, just do a good job. I mean, these guys do a great job. Same with this guy, Nick. He does a great. This guy Nick is trying to cure COVID. Like, he's actually actively working on the vaccine.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and he's like, he's trying to break into this too.
That's a hero,
right? But because he's following, like he probably unfollowed me because of him, because of Ben, which I told him, I was like, you can unfollow me, that's fine. Like, do what you got to do. It's not personal.
Wow.
He's like, I just, these guys are petrified, man. These guys are.
What?
Yeah, because
wait a minute. They're petrified of him?
Because he put up this thing where he's gatekeeping them being able to succeed and follow their dreams. But they don't want to be on his bad side, because then he's going to blackball them from
do
working.
Nothing.
Yeah, he's ain't gonna do shit.
Do nothing.
But they don't know that. These people, these guys are they're just trying to do and make the connections that they think they need. But I could promise you, nobody's gonna be like, "Oh, you're not cool with him." Well, fuck that, because nobody really likes him.
This is
anyway.
the most childish middle school shit I've ever heard in my life.
It is. I just don't like the fact that, one, he came after the kids and you, and him having the arrogance to think that he has that kind of power over us. And then two, I also don't like the idea of him gatekeeping people, people's dreams from them. And using that against them to kiss his ass and stroke his ego, whatever the fuck he needs. So
yeah, this isn't a good source of this isn't a good use of someone's platform.
No, not at all.
At all. This is very damaging.
So that's what I'm just trying to say. Like, hey, if you're trying to get into, being in the media, following sports, covering the Broncos, there's so many ways to do it. You could do a podcast, you could do blogs, like.
Dude,
that's all the same,
Seriously,
like,
you
there's so many ways.
Need to be kissing anybody's ass to get where you want to be.
And you trying to make money?
Don't ever feel bullied into not voicing your opinion. If somebody signs up for Twitter, they are signing up for everybody else's opinion, whether you like it or not. It does not give you the right to sit there and use whatever fucking power you think you have to destroy someone's life because of a difference of an opinion. I will say it over and over again. But like that's what's important to you, and I understand it. But honestly, like the principle of the thing is, I'm just sitting here really thinking to myself, wow, what if we were that hard up family that is like, we just started a small business? What if we were that one? And because my husband was on Twitter and upset your little feelings, you would have obliterated everything that we would have worked for because you have your following. And that makes me absolutely volatile, like just violently sick.
Yeah. And we're fortunate enough and we're blessed enough to be in a position where we entertain. You know what I mean? That's
very blessed, by the way.
That's what we do. We're blessed enough to be able to do that. And on Twitter, that's all I do is I entertain. And like you said, if I was just a normal person, or, you know, if I was still having just a normal construction job, which, by the way, they weren't never giving a shit about that shit. But, you know, let's say they did and they wanted to fire me over fucking 3 jokes that were just jokes. Clearly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they're clearly exaggerated. Like, it's clearly jokes, bro. And especially when you do the same shit. Now you're mad that I went at your employer, but you don't like when the energy is returned to you. And that's the problem too, is you do not want to be treated the way that you treat other people. And that just, to me, he's just not a good person. And he affects people negatively in a lot of ways. And he ain't shit. He's really not shit. Anybody could do the job that he's fucking doing right now. Anybody can have the Broncos tell him what he needs to say on the radio. Anybody can do that. I don't mind using this platform to stand up for like the little guy or against people like that, because
like if I ever fucking have anybody tell me, or if I ever see that you are attempting to take anything away from somebody based on your following, I swear on everything, I'm that one.
Yeah.
I do not like bullying in any fucking form, and I will not let it happen if I'm around, if I see it. So like I'm just being real with you. Just like I'm standing up for my family, I'll stand up for others. I don't care. You're not gonna fucking do some stupid shit like that. I guarantee it. Sorry, like this is stupid. It's dumb. Like I think that the answer here is for you to get the fuck off of social media. That's all. Yeah, that you're just not made for it, man. You're just not built for it. And you also don't have self-control. You don't have self-discipline. You lack time management skills. There are so many other things, like just from like person to person, business owner to wannabe business owner, you know, I'm just letting you know that those are the skills and tools that you really need to work on and that you need to cultivate and grow in order for you to move beyond this miserable state that you're in. And I'm not trying to be petty, and I'm not trying to be foul and funky to you, even though you deserve every bit of it. But I'm just letting you know, if you ever want to succeed beyond where you're at and you want to stop feeling so miserable and like fucking ass all the time, maybe you should stop putting so much negativity out in this fucking world and stop focusing on defending whether it's your sketchy past or your inexperience or your terrible fucking job. I don't know. Yeah. But like, you need to figure what makes you happy and like fucking work on what's going to help you get there, because what you're doing right now is a very bad use of your time. And I don't know if you just needed maybe a pep talk. So here, I mean, I don't know you, but you pulled me into your shit and you threatened my livelihood, my kid's livelihood. And so I guess I can turn around and try to give you some pearls of advice, and what you do with that, you may, but I have a feeling that you're just going to continue on the course that you're set on. I just want to let you know, don't cross paths with me again. I don't want to fucking see you. I don't want to fucking hear about you, and I don't fucking respect you. And honestly, any of my colleagues or any people that I network with, I'll be sure to pass on the message and pass on the information and let them know that this is the type of behavior that they will get if they decide to work with you in any way or collaborate with you on any future business ventures. So good luck to you. The best of luck to you. Honestly, sincerely.
I really don't give a shit what happens to you.
I'm done with this episode. I'm done talking about this.
If you guys like this episode of the podcast, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like this video.
Yeah, we'd love
to have you. Comment down
you.
below if you saw the tweets, if you were involved, if you were a part of that. Give your opinion. Maybe did he block you? If he blocked you, you need to let me know.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what the account is.
Hey,
on the people that
and
blocked him.
how about this? Y'all let us know if he's ever threatened you if you've been a victim to his tirades and his threats to completely obliterate your life.
Right.
Let me know. I just honestly, because like I just don't. That does not sit well in my spirit. And
can you imagine him like just going around DMing like a bunch of teenage girls his military like paperwork? He's like, look, I was in the military. Like, bro, nobody cares.
That's the thing. Like, my Glamazons were specifically telling you that they're 14. Like, stop, and you would like that's inappropriate. Like, it's just inappropriate. So, anyways, I'm done. I love you guys so much. Thank y'all.
Follow us.
Follow us on Instagram and Twitter. You want to make sure that you are there because you never know when shit's gonna pop off. So you can find me at the Nikki Glamour on Twitter, and you can find me at Nikki Glamour on Instagram.
And you can follow the podcast on Instagram and Twitter at the His Ex Hers Pod.
Yay!
And you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at David Cisneros. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode of the podcast. So we appreciate you guys being on the journey with us and tuning in and sticking with us through the ups and downs. We really do appreciate it.
Yeah, we really do.
None of this is possible without you guys. And we're forever grateful. So I hope you guys are here next week.
Yeah, we'll see you here next week for show. We love y'all so much. And we'll talk to y'all later. Peace out, y'all.